Hey guys, Christy from Voice Chasers here, and today I have voice actor Eric Bauza, and I have the creator and the voice of Uncle Grandpa, Pete Browngardt, with me today.
Hello.
Thanks for coming today.
Hello, Internet. Hello, Internet.
Please keep it down. We're trying to talk here. Internet, just pipe it down.
It's so loud.
Internet's so loud.
I know.
Rowdy. Yeah.
So Pete, I want to talk to you first about the show in general and how it came into creation
Well, I kind of came up with it on my own and sketchbooks and stuff, and had an opportunity to pitch here at Cartoon Network, part of their shorts program. So I pitched it, and it went well, and they greenlit a 7-minute short.
Okay.
And then I did that, and then after that, sort of went into development, and then became a series.
I remember the first time I saw anything about the show was we were in a movie theater, and I forget what film it was. It was another animated film, but it was before the film, and my kids got all excited when when they saw the little clip of the show, and they're like, "Oh, that's the show we want to watch."
And they did a promotional.
Yeah, the promotional stuff. Yeah.
Huge promo push like this summer, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
in August.
That's probably what. Yeah.
The month of August.
Apparently at the Six Flags parks.
Yeah,
they would
they're
show
doing a promo push there.
They did it
them
on like when you waited online for rides and the TVs. They had it up
Little
there.
commercial.
They took away the
Wow.
sprinkler system that cools you down, and they just
Yeah.
they put Uncle Grandpa.
They put in the flames came out.
The flames came out.
Yeah, so just to heat people up for the show.
Different sensation.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the process going. So when you have a season that you have to go through, what's the process of, let's say, one episode from start to finish? Like what kind of?
It just all starts. We sort of get together in a room and talk about ideas, land on an idea, then we sort of flesh it out with a springboard, kind of a very loose paragraph of what the episode would be, and then we involve the network, talk to them about it, and then we write an outline, get that approved, and once that's approved, it goes to storyboard, and we have teams of storyboard artists too that are writers and drawers.
So they do both, writing and
we actually
storyboarding.
don't have. We only have 2 writers on the show, and we don't write scripts. There's no script.
Interesting.
So it's almost like the old school,
Yeah.
like how Chuck Jones and Bob Crockett would do it. Like they would have at the most like a story artist at least, and that's kind of like how.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing. Ren and Stimpy did it that way. SpongeBob,
SpongeBob.
Adventure Time, a regular show, did it that way.
Okay.
But there's only like I'd say 6 shows on planet Earth that do this process, and what I feel like the process gets you is a more visual cartoon. You get
Is it more fluid because
a little bit more fluid? Yeah, it's more like animation friendly. A lot of times scripts are dense with dialogue or dense with very difficult visuals to do. Like they'll set something in a football stadium with crowds, and crowds are never fun to do in TV animation. Very difficult. So it's like that. So it's a little bit more of a streamlined process in a sense. Yeah.
So then what do you, if there's is there a script that you read when you go into record?
There's a script on Uncle Grandpa they send you to prepare. Voice actors, they will send the actors the board, the storyboard itself.
Okay.
And then like a line script, so you can, when you're reading off of it, you kind of see how it was written out, and but you also have visual reference, because I feel when you have story artists working on it so personally, it kind of takes on a life of its own. And I feel like going back to old Looney Tunes, every director had a different way to do Bugs Bunny. That's why Bugs Bunny was so. He had different personalities almost.
Sure.
Sometimes he was calm. Sometimes he was like a wise ass. Yeah. So at least on this show, I always feel like the board artists the boards are always different. There's so much variety.
I embrace that too. I embrace the different artist styles of drawing, trying to come through on the board, and their sensibility of writing and stuff like that.
So as a voice actor, you don't want to miss anything that they may have drawn that isn't written on a script. So there's so many nuances.
So is there a lot of improv when you're recording?
There's room for it, but I also feel like got to do it as written once, and then Pete's very open to different interpretations.
And all the best voice actors like Bauza, and Kevin Michael Richardson, and Tom Kenny and everything.
Sure.
They you can tell when a voice actor comes in who has actually read the board and the ones that haven't. Yeah, they're always very prepared. So it's very fun because they always surprise me, like, oh, they remember the boards better than I do sometimes.
Wow.
So it's like getting a new comic book every week.
Yeah.
Well, you have to
That's
keep
cool.
track of like how many boards at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I manage like 26 at once
Yeah,
in my head,
yeah.
different stages, so it's a little different. But
and deliver the main characters,
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
like whatever.
So did you do the casting and the directing as well for the show? Or?
yeah, I got I picked the casting. I work with the network. They always have they have approval and everything.
Okay.
But through the process, they're very freeing. They're very open.
That's great.
But you just sort of search through a lot of MP3s.
It's a big process.
It's a big
Wow,
process.
yeah,
It's a very
yeah.
very long process.
Was there a long audition?
Yeah, there
time?
was for certain characters. Like Mr. Gus probably took, who Kevin McArthurson
Yeah.
probably took the longest. Bauza actually took a while to find him. And then once that's in, it helps. Like we actually were boarding and writing without the characters' voices locked in, and that's actually really difficult because the writers need that voice in their head.
Hmm.
Like once you have the character and the voice actor together, you can write easier. You hear the voice in your head. It's like imagine writing stories for Kermit the Frog without Kermit's voice. It's
Sure.
like, how do you do that?
Sure,
or
sure.
Any famous sort of iconic character,
Okay.
But once that happened, I feel like we actually did a lot of boards. We did like eight to 10 boards without some voices cast. Then once we got the cast, I feel like the writing got better.
I was going to say,
Like
did it help to develop
yeah,
the character
definitely.
some way?
All the board artists who keep coming to me like, well, I don't know if this is right or not because we don't have the voice yet. Yeah.
And even when you do find
Sure.
the voice, it'll still grow from there.
Sure,
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
The character will develop as it goes on.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
The more comfortable you get,
Yeah.
all the moods and all the different plot lines that these characters can get into, and they're so different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Totally different.
So Eric, you played Belly Bag on the
Yes,
show.
yes.
Tell me a little bit about that character.
Well, he's a fanny pack that
Oh.
that resides
A
around
belly
the
bag,
waist of
uh-huh.
Uncle Grandpa. So he's technically the closest person to Uncle Grandpa, his best friend, you could
Yes,
say.
yes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just one of those roles for me, and not just the role, but being involved in a show like this for me as a cartoonist as well, like starting
Sure.
as a cartoonist. It was just so important to me. It just seemed like something that you see and read so many auditions as a voiceover artist every day, every week, and I've been doing it for 7 years, and this is the first one in 7 years that I was like, I can't not let this one go.
You have to have this role.
For me, it was one of those ones I'm like, I don't want to do anything else.
So
but I
did-
do have to because I have to pay, put my kids through college and
Yeah,
gas.
exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
But this is one of those ones for me that like I feel it's been on TV now for some,
Couple months.
Couple
now.
months.
Yeah.
and it's getting like a good following. I think.
Yeah, we're doing really
Getting-
good.
People
Good.
are a little like unsure
Yeah.
of anything that's new.
Mhm.
But then as soon as they find out, well, pretty fun show.
Yeah.
Then that's where it's like the payoff is like, okay, good. All that like hard work and worrying was not for nothing.
Sure. So when you went into the audition, did they show you a picture of the character?
Yeah, you usually
How'd
get a character description
Yeah.
and then a few chunks of dialogue for they call them sides, I guess. Audition copy, so you kind of like have an idea of who the character is in the spectrum of the show, kind of like how it relates to the other characters, and sides are always difficult because they're only short spurts, and they're
Mm.
supposed to show like different moods and stuff, but that could mean anything out of context. He's sad, but why is he sad?
Yeah.
So once you get past a certain part of auditioning, you go in and work and meet with the director. I actually met Pete while auditioning on another show
Mhm.
of his
Okay.
before Uncle Grandpa, which is Secret Map for Awesome.
Okay.
And that was one of those ones for me where I was like, oh my god, it was like meeting Elvis, like
Yeah.
right. I was like, oh hey dude, I like that song that you wrote, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I like that short that you made, the original Uncle Grandpa
Yeah.
short, and it was, and I didn't see it for like a little bit, and
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
and then this show came around, and then I was
Absolutely.
like, we gotta
Gotta
do it,
Yeah.
and luckily I made it through.
And not only is Bauza one of the main characters of the show, he is so many other parts that are, like I was just talking to somebody the other day and I was like, man, Bauza's gonna have the ultimate voiceover reel after. Not only is he a main character, he's Hot Dog Person, he's Zarna, he's like endless, like funny little incidental characters that have moments of comedy within the show. So it's like, and I couldn't do it without someone who's versatile as him and others that are on the show.
But he just said all the side characters.
Yeah.
What's so unique about this show is, like we were talking about it earlier with Looney Tunes, that it wasn't like a full 11-minute or a full 22-minute. It was like shorts, like little 7-minute shorts. So in this show, there's like maybe like maybe a 4 to 5, 7-minute like storyline, and then like they have interstitial characters, fake commercials.
I see.
Like little bits, you know.
A little variety show.
Okay.
You get so much in entertainment than you would in like maybe other shows that is just about like one thing. This is like a million different things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is missing. That kind of like weird surprise that you get from shows.
Yeah.
I don't think you can find that anywhere else.
Okay.
So it was important to me to get on the show.
Yeah, it was
Not just for
important for me to have him on the show.
Yeah.
Awesome. So after the storyboards are all done, then what happens after that?
We record them.
Okay.
We type a script off of the board, which is basically all the lines in order, and then we record it. Then we build off. After we record it, we build an animatic of the storyboards with the recordings, and then that gets turned in, and we get through the approval process with the network. After that, we get past that, we break the board down. We have a meeting, and the art director, Bill Flores, and the other supervisors, we all go through the board, and we designate what has to be, what do we need to create here before we ship it overseas for animation. So we do all key background art, character art, stuff like that. Sign all that out, then it goes into the design process. It's designed for about a month or so. And then we ship it off overseas, which sounds like a shipment, like you mail it, and it's actually all over the internet. Send it to there, deliver it to them. Then they animate it for, I think it's around 8 to 10 weeks. And then we send back work prints of the color footage, with just the voices. And then we look at it. If there's any little mistakes here and there, if something's miscolored or whatever, we send notes. It's called the retake process. You send retakes. Then once the retakes come in, you lock the picture.
Okay.
So then you have your final locked picture with just the dialogue and acting in there. Then we send it off to sound effects and music. That's put in, and then we have a final mix, and we deliver to the network.
And who's doing the music for the show?
Two fellow guys, Mike Conte, who's a recording artist, heavy metal band called Early Man, and Tommy Meehan, who is also a recording artist and has a band called the Manx. They sort of team up and do the music for the show. Yeah, it has a wide variety of music. It can go from like thrash metal to like R&B to every type of music, to like parodying commercial sounds.
Yeah, you guys, we did a commercial, a fake infomercial where Uncle Grandpa sings the classics.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just
made up songs. So
it's like those old, like that 90s infomercial where you see like the song scrolling up, like the name.
Yeah.
You went through the whole gamut.
Yeah, we did. And we even did ones that they would never do in those types of collections, like black metal or G.G. Allen parody. Yeah, very diverse. He sings all the songs.
Okay, and then so how long does that process take, like from inception to air?
To air, it's about 8 months.
Wow.
Maybe more than that. 9 months.
And it's all hand drawn.
It's all hand drawn. Yeah, we draw on the computer. We use these things called made by Wacom with Cintiqs.
Yep.
And you draw directly on the screen, but it's all hand drawn. And I really encourage, like, what I love about animation is the hand drawn aspect.
Sure.
I'm not a huge computer animation fan. I like some films and stuff, but I like the organicness and the unique sort of personality that comes out in every artist's hand.
Sure.
I had shown her around a bit before this, and we stopped off at David Gemmel's workstation, and even though they have the technology to do everything digital, he still had a notepad and pen there.
Oh yeah, he always, and post-its, we draw post-its all the time.
Oh yeah.
Either just gag drawings or just to write an idea down or storyboard an idea, stuff like
there's still something about like it's still like holding a book. You know?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People are on their phones.
And some of the designers still work on paper.
Yeah.
You know, we scan it and then clean it up in the computer and stuff.
And then all the coloring is done in the computer, I
Computer
presume?
and Photoshop.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But, it's very digital for a hand-drawn look. It's a very digital process. It's funny.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's all you wanted to know?
So that's all you got?
That's it?
That's
We
it.
done? Okay, well, back to work.
No.
Thanks, you guys. I really
No,
appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Internet.
Yeah. Bye, internet.